4, 3, 2, 1.
Cue music.
This is Movies First with Alex First.
The popular television series of the same name that ran for 7 seasons from 1977 involved guests being granted fantasies, but at a price, because these frequently involved exposing the error of their ways. So there were perils and life lessons, but nothing like this big screen horror version of the show. Each of the 5 guests who fly to this luxurious and remote tropical island resort has apparently been selected after they won a competition. Naturally, no one knows just what to expect. A couple of so-called brothers are party animals. There's a wannabe soldier, a girl picked on at school who wants to get back at the student who bullied her, and a beautiful woman who turned down a marriage proposal. So each of the 5 thinks they're destined to live out their fantasy because the island has magical powers. Instead, something supposedly desirous quickly turns nasty and evil. This is a living nightmare for each of them. It seems there's no escaping their inevitable fate. Their host, Mr. Rourke, played by Michael Penner, has a reason for being on the atoll and for doing what he's doing. Unfortunately, what may have seemed like a good idea on paper turns into anything but on screen. Let me say the material is not handled well by director and co-writer, with Jillian Jacobs and Christopher Roach, Jeff Wadlow, who was responsible for Truth or Dare.
Movies First with Alex First.
Fantasy Island circa 2020 looks and feels clunky. The script is too convoluted for its own good. The constant twists are wearing and confusing. A number of the primary characterisations are particularly weak and shallow. Maggie Q is arguably the best of them as Elena. Further, I didn't understand where several of the secondary players even came from, let alone why they simply wouldn't die. Fantasy Island should have been something that never went beyond the domain of a streaming service. Before I saw it, I was quite looking forward to revisiting a childhood fantasy, namely the TV show. But my mood soon darkened after I entered the cinema and the film began screening. Unfortunately, Fantasy Island is not the stuff cinematic dreams are made of. It scores a 4 out of 10.
You've been listening to Movies First with Alex First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.